Hi, it's Tyler. We have a lot of 4x4s in town. You already know how to build this Land Rover Defender. They're each designed quite differently. But since this one is the easiest to build, we're going to be showing you how to build it.
Hi everybody, it's Matt. I'm here to show you how to build the truck that Tyler was giving the introduction to. So here's a good all-around look at it. First thing I want to point out is that we are using kind of some special axle and wheel pieces here on the bottom, but it will look just fine with the regular tires. In fact, you can even put the street-sized axle pieces on and have yourself a street truck. We just put the knobby ones on because they look with the suspension, because we had them. So let's get started. Okay, first I want to give you a look at this chassis before I show you how it's built, so you can kind of see how it goes together. It is not a normal Lego chassis. It's kind of this weird combination of pieces, and actually, like this, it's fairly flimsy, but it will get stronger as the structure of the truck is added. And just so you know where we're going, this is the front section, which again is not using any fender pieces or any regular Lego car pieces other than the headlight and grille. Cab section, and of course the truck bed, which is pretty self-explanatory, but we'll go over it anyway. Okay, back to the chassis piece. Now, I'm actually not going to take this all the way apart because just since this truck was made using spare parts, all the parts are different colors, so you can really see what they are. So essentially, the base of the truck is this 2x6 piece here in the middle. We're putting a 2x4 here. You see how they're overlapping just a little bit? A 2x2, a 2x2, and a 2x3 on the bottom to lock it in. And then, of course, the back taillight piece bracket just goes on there. In the front, it's another 2x3. It's set one stud in, and then we put a push bar in the front just because it's a truck and it looks better with it. Now, the only thing under here that's of any interest really would be this exhaust setup. This is just a piece down there to kind of bulk it up. You don't really need that 1x2. So the exhaust is real simple. It's just these cone pieces, like that. You see those? Put on this, well, the usual 1x2 with the little pointy things on it. And we centered it using one of these centering pieces so that the dual exhaust would sit right dead center underneath the truck. Alright, this should be two 2x2s put together, but we didn't have one. So we just used some spare parts. It doesn't matter. This is completely hidden when the truck is built. Next, you're going to get your grille, which you could use those headlight pieces or any other combination of brackets. This is a Technic piece that we're using, and that sits right there on the front. To bulk it up a bit and give us our fenders, we're going to use a 2x4 piece with a 1x2 in the middle, and we're going to put that so that it makes a nice little 2x2 flat area up there, and that's where the hood's going to go. Now, the headlights on this are actually hung off the truck, so we're going to take a 1x3 and put it on top of that fender bit, and another 1x3 and put it on top of the other one, and the headlights hang underneath, just like that. They're actually not sported underneath, which is kind of unusual. Usually in Legos you're building up, but in this case those headlight pieces are hanging down. And then we need to put a 1x4 plate on the top, which is going to hold our front edge of our windshield. So while we have this here, let's go ahead and put that on the chassis, and it just fits into that little notch that we left for it, just like that. Okay, good. Okay, the cab part of it, I'm only going to partly assemble because you can really figure this out on your own. It's a 4x4 plate. You could also use combinations of, 2x4s if you needed to get that right size. We put these tile pieces on there just so that it looked a little bit more finished. It doesn't actually have doors. You could add doors to this truck very easily. Simply take those off, plunk your doors in there, steering wheel, and then there's a 1x4 on the bottom to kind of make it look a little bit bigger. We're going to put this one on this side to finish it off. Again, if you had doors, you could put them on there instead, but we're going to use these 1x1 bricks just to give the windshield proper support that it needs. And then the windshield goes on, just hanging on to those bricks like that. So you can see this is where the doors would go if you had doors. We actually don't have any, so we're not using doors. And then if we come back to our chassis piece, it just drops in just like that, as you would expect. Okay, like I said with the cab portion, if you have a 4x4 plate, you'd want to use that. We don't actually have one, so we're going to make the bed using a combination of 2x4 plates. That's why this is a spare part truck. So we're going to put a 1x4 brick on each of those, and a 1x2 brick with a tile on top to kind of lock them together. The tile gives you a little finish to go under your roll bar, and then that goes right on the chassis, just like that. Add the wheels of your choice and you're good to go. So here you can see the truck with standard wheels. If you want to use those kind of wheels, you will need to add an extra 2x2 plate to properly adjust those wheels upward. And if you want to use it as like a street truck or like kind of a small Jeep, you'll want to actually take off those 2x3 plates that we put on earlier. It might be easier to take them off so the truck holds together, but you know, it looks okay, like a little resort kind of Jeepster. But of course, if you have them, you want to use these springy wheels, because that is the way this truck was meant to be built. Thanks!
Hi, it's Tyler. Is that what I said in the other ones?
Yeah, but you seem like very depressed. Hey!
Hey guys, it's Tyler!
Put on it, just like that. We're actually going to set it right here on the top. That's not how it goes. No, that's not it. But of course,